Well, after more than a year of legal wrangling, finally this decision, and it doesn't look good for Julian Assange. You can see some of his supporters here have been putting out flags and shouting their support, but also post the decision here in the courts, you've got supporters like John Pilger also adding his concerns about the result.
The position of the Australian government is probably the most outrageous in this whole saga. No real protection has been given to this Australian citizen.
The result really means that there's not much stopping him being sent back to Sweden now, although his legal team has been given 2 weeks to come up with legal argument as to why he shouldn't. There is one other legal avenue he can go down, and that is the European Court of Human Rights, but they have to accept the case for a start, and they'll be given 2 weeks for that to happen. If they don't accept it, and many legal eagles say they won't accept it, then really there's not much stopping him from being on a plane to Sweden to face those charges. Now, actually, they're not charges, they're just allegations at this stage. He'd be questioned about that. It's quite possible he will end up not being charged, and all of this will be for absolutely nothing. But of course, his greater fear is that beyond the Swedish extradition will be another extradition to the United States, where he'd face charges, far more serious charges, in terms of his work with WikiLeaks. And there he fears that he could be put in jail for many, many years. So that's the main concern that it is always expressed. But of course, his supporters here have been vociferous in their claims that he is a victim, that he's done nothing wrong, and that he should be given far more legal protection, particularly from the Australian government.
I think he thinks that there should be greater diplomatic support in Australia, but it's not something that he spends his time discussing. But he, clearly a lot of Australians are very supportive of him, and I think they're right to be. I think they should be proud of him.